some guy or a friend of a friend was in San Francisco, and he's like, yeah, all the girls in San Francisco are coke whores. And the other guy said, well, if you think that, then that's all you're gonna find when you go out. You're gonna see it everywhere. And so you've now just everything's becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I think that is true. You know, if you have this certain thing, then that's all you're going to see. And so, yeah, you have to look into yourself. And I agree, the victim thing is something you have to be careful with as well. Oh, there's, you know, they're all like this or like this. And that's just not true either. If you really are confident in yourself and you believe that you've built a man that you're proud of, then I firmly believe if you're in maybe a real social situation, I don't know what it's like online, then, you know, where people are really communicating, however it is, I think then you will find all sorts of amazing things. But then again, you have to go and figure out what you are bringing to the table. And I guess that has to do with old relationships and maybe mother relationships and all of these types of things that you have to look into and figure out what you're bringing to it and how you're going to potentially sabotage that relationship. And then, of course, the woman as well, you know, she might say she wants X, Y, and Z, but also she needs to feel like she's with a man who instills confidence and who has a plan and who has all of these things. And so if you don't ultimately have that, then she'll go, like you said, she'll go hang out with a bartender, whether she knows why she's doing it or not, that'll happen. Just like the man, you know, hanging around another guy that all of a sudden shows you that he's not worthy of the character, you'll find yourself going somewhere else as well and not spending time with them. So I think those are powerful things.
Yeah, I mean, I recorded this episode called Women Are Delusional and Men Are Disenfranchised, the Problem with Modern Dating. And it really, I mean, it sparked a lot because it was kind of saying, look, everybody, both parties are contributing to the problem in modern dating right now. There are some women that do legitimately just have completely unrealistic expectations for the landscape that are out there and are trying to, you know, the ideal man that they've created in their head doesn't exist outside of their head. It just doesn't exist outside of there. Now, that's not all women, right? And so if you think that all women have these delusional ideas of what they, you know, can get from men, then that's probably saying more about you and how disenfranchised and bitter and filled with animosity and resentment you've become towards women in the modern dating scene. And so, you know, I think men and women both have a responsibility to kind of check themselves and enter into the dating scene in a bit of a different light, because otherwise you're just carrying your bitterness in. And one of the things that I've told to a lot of men is, you know, one of the checks, like if I was single today, I'm married, happily married. I've got 2 kids. I love my wife. She's wonderful. But if I was single and I was out in the dating market today, one of the questions that I would probably ask women on a, you know, second, third, or fourth date is, what do you think about men and masculinity? And then I would just be quiet and listen. And if she started telling me about, you know, how men are bad and men are evil, or, you know, that there's no good men anymore, it would be a red flag for me. You know, or if she started going off about how the patriarchy needs to be dismantled and is the fundamental problem with existence, I would probably, it'd be a red flag for me. But if she started to tell me about how, you know, she respects men for certain qualities and you know, really has had some good partners and is able to see that maybe some of those relationships ended because of things that she contributed to the dynamic, then I would probably lean in and I would listen and I would, you know, maybe pursue that further. So there's very simple things that we can do to get a gauge of, like, you know, is a woman interested in who I am, or is she going to treat me like the image that she has in her head about men? Because there are some women who have been hurt by men who just fundamentally haven't dealt with it, mistrust men entirely, think that all men are bad and wrong. And when you get into a relationship with that, you are always going to be the problem. And for a lot of nice guys, they get into those types of relationships because they feel like there's something wrong with me, I'm the problem. And so then we attract those types of women and those types of relationships.
How do you get out of a rat race? How do you create wealth not only for yourself, but also for the generations to come after?
I am absolutely amazed with the quality of companies that we're getting exposure to.
We go on to Zoom calls with the innovators and the folks who are building new applications in metaverse, blockchain, artificial intelligence, decentralized finance.
What's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me.
We are focusing on early stage investment.
And the quality of people that we're getting exposure to, whether it be Dan Tapiero with 1RT, Jason Ma from Open, Yatsu from Animoca.
It's been a phenomenal experience thus far. It has far exceeded my expectations.
We are focusing on cutting edge technologies.
I view it now as the best investment I've ever made. The upside I view is unlimited.
And as a retail investor, I would never get this exposure anywhere else outside of Investment Club.
See you in the Investment Club.